It's 2026, and all people want to talk about is Iowa's hyper-competitive gubernatorial race between Democrat Rob Sand and these guys. They want to talk about how Iowa's competitive congressional races are key for holding the Trump administration accountable, but the most important race of 2026 might be a position that no one is talking about. Hear me out. If elections are the ball game, the Secretary of State is the ref. That means their decisions impact not just how safe our elections are, but how many barriers stand between you and your vote. 2 weeks before the 2024 election, Iowa Secretary of State Paul Pate sent county auditors a secret list of 2022 voters he wanted challenged at the polls. I call it secret because while he was making sweeping claims about potential fraud, he wouldn't show us who he was accusing of voter fraud, a crime. With a list this small, his office could have reasonably checked every name on that list, confirmed their eligibility, and prevented, his office from disenfranchising a list of voters. Instead of taking the fight to people who committed fraud, Pate set up a dragnet, one that ended up catching naturalized citizens. And while he was able to find fraud on this list, it was exactly this much. That's of all the votes cast in 2024. In my reporting, I found U.S. citizens who had to bring additional information and make additional trips to the auditor's office to cure their ballot. That is, make sure it gets counted. These were naturalized citizens, people who went through the whole process, took the citizenship test, took the oath, and became American. And Paul Pate made them jump through extra hoops because they used to have a green card. The ACLU sued in court. Pate's own lawyers had to admit that, a lot of these people are in fact citizens, but the damage was done. Voters showed up not knowing that they'd be challenged and not knowing if their vote would count in the end. If this was really about fraud, why did we wait until early voting had already started? The answer is obvious. It was never about election security. And here's the thing, the Secretary of State's office doesn't just administer elections, they help certify the results. They decide which voting machines counties can use. They write rules for how ballots get designated and counted. In some states, secretaries of state even set maximum wait times at polling places. And we all know that longer lines means fewer people vote. This isn't some bureaucratic position. This is the person who maintains the machinery of our democracy. And when they use their power to challenge eligible voters based on flawed data 2 weeks before an election, that impacts whose voices get heard. Right now, Paul Pate has one challenger, Democrat Ryan Peterman, a Navy pilot. When I asked him about Pate's secret list, he said election security is important. It's also important not to disenfranchise eligible voters.
If you prevent one ineligible voter from voting, but at the same time you have to prevent 100 or 1,000 eligible voters from being able to get there and make their voice heard, I don't think that's the right solution.
So the most important race by far in 2026 is the Secretary of State, an office no one's talking about. So fight me, I guess. For Iowa Starting Line, I'm Zachary Ornsmith. Thanks for watching.